From Delaware's most award-winning radio news team, this is WDEL Video News. Here's Chris Carl.
Among Delaware's top stories for Wednesday, June 27th, DuPont says it's making a commitment to Delaware. The girl says she was molested at a popular beach attraction. And preserving some local history. Here are the details. A new 5-year plan developed by DuPont is showing a commitment to Delaware. WDEL's Curtis Gray has details.
The plan calls for some new Chestnut Run buildings, renovation of the downtown DuPont building, and the sale of the 100-acre Barley Mill Plaza office building. Expensive maintenance requirements and unused space at Barley Mill is causing DuPont to sell the site and use the proceeds to reinvest into the planned new buildings.
Reinvesting significant dollars in our facilities. The facilities at Barley Mill are quite old and not suited for today's business. By building new facilities and owning those facilities in Delaware, that really provides a stronger presence.
DuPont's Chuck Leeberry says the company isn't giving exact numbers for new employees, but hiring is expected in the growth areas of bio-based materials and research and development. I'm Curtis Gray, 1150 AM, WDEL.
New Jersey authorities say the father of a boy found abandoned outside Christie in a hospital earlier this month flew to Italy 5 days later. The Mercer County Prosecutor's Office says records show Rosario DiGirolamo flew from Newark, New Jersey to Milan on June 14th. The toddler's mother, 27-year-old Amy Giordano, remains missing, and police say they're concerned about her welfare. 11-month-old Michael DiGirolamo was found outside Christie in a hospital on June 9th. Legislation increasing transportation fees and the state's cigarette tax heads to the Senate after receiving approval in the House yesterday. But Dover Republican Senator Colin Benini says he'll vote no, calling the increases stunningly irresponsible.
When Delaware families have financial difficulties and their revenues don't meet their budget, they don't simply spend more money, they spend less money. They find savings in their personal and family budgets, and I think that's what the Delaware government should do.
Benini says saving just 5% in the operating budget would meet the state's obligations without having to raise taxes. Police investigate the discovery of 2 bodies. WDEL News continues in a moment.
You could spend your money at the gas pump, or you could spend it on those sexy pumps at your favorite store. Let DART do the driving. Travel smart. Choose DART.
2 bodies are found at a Wilmington home after what was first reported as a medical emergency. Police say the bodies of 2 men were found by paramedics at the home in the 800 block of West 27th Street about 8:30 yesterday morning. Detectives say there are no signs of foul play. One person is believed to be 78 years old, while the second man is 43. Autopsies are being done by the state medical examiner's office. Children in the care of the state should get the same rights and protection as others, according to the State House. Plus, lawmakers call for Senate action on legislation eliminating mandatory sentences for drug crimes. Those stories from WDEL legislative correspondent Carl Konevsky in Dover.
Members approved a bill sponsored by North Wilmington Republican Greg Lavelle waiving sovereign immunity for the state and its agencies in cases of childhood sexual abuse. Lavelle says public school students need the protection since 7% of them are abused or molested.
We need to change the way the schools work. All our institutions under the state, just not to pick on the schools, foster care, detention facilities, all these places lend risk to this, and this needs to be a priority for the state of Delaware, just as we've made it a priority for everybody else.
Pat Michael, director of the Developmental Disabilities Council, says the bill is important for children with special needs who face abuse at a disproportionate rate.
We want to make sure that they are afforded the same civil rights as every other child who could have gone to private school or parochial school. Our kids do not get accepted into those schools, so they're primarily attending public schools. We have to make sure that they're afforded the same rights.
The bill now moves to the state Senate. The bill, giving judges discretion in sentencing people convicted of minor drug crimes, passed through the House, but remains tied up in the Senate Executive Committee, chaired by President Pro Tem Thurman Adams. Supporters, like Senator Harris McDowell, a Wilmington Democrat, say putting people behind bars instead of giving them help for their problems serves no purpose.
It does very little good to put many of these people away for a 5-year minimum mandatory, only to have them come out of prison with no job prospects, no future, nowhere to go, but back to the drug culture that got him in the prison in the first place.
Senator Adams, a Bridgeville Democrat, says he's not inclined to bring the bill out for debate, but the inaction isn't a random desk drawer veto.
I've had too many people from the Attorney General's office and the various police agencies that say everything is working now, and why change it?
Reporting from Legislative Hall in Dover, I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
A late morning walk with his dog in the park turned ugly for an elderly man in Wilmington. The man tells police he was walking in Canby Park at about 11 o'clock Monday morning when he was approached from behind by two teenagers. One of the teens hit the man with a broom handle, and when he fell to the ground, the second suspect went through his pockets and stole money and car keys. The teens then took off. The man refused medical treatment. Rehoboth Beach police are looking for a man who allegedly touched a 10-year-old girl at Funland while she was waiting for a ride. The girl told her mother, who then confronted the man, but he left before police arrived. Police say the man was captured on surveillance cameras on Sunday around 11 p.m. near the boardwalk. He is white, in his 50s, about 6 feet tall, with brown hair and a brown mustache. Contractors doing construction in Newcastle County could soon face a new license fee. WDEL's Curtis Gray has details.
The contractor licensing legislation introduced at County Council will mean a cost of $400 per license and raise close to $5 million in the first year. It will also mean dozens of new employees in the Land Use Department to handle customer service and enforcement. First District Democrat Joe Retta, the sponsor, says the bill covers all contractors.
It has to do with not just plumbing and general contractors. This has to do with masonry, which includes cement finishers, bricklayers, stone masons, framers, general contractors, in all aspects of construction, roofing. So, and there's no lending of license.
By year 3, estimates show the bill could be responsible for raising nearly $7 million. It could be voted on next month. I'm Curtis Gray, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Well, this time, the Battle of Brandywine has been won. WDEL's Melanie Armstrong explains.
We may have lost the Battle of Brandywine, but we sure as hell won this one. And I want to thank you all for it.
The Brandywine Conservancy has preserved 100 acres of property in Chester County known as Skirmish Hill Farm, the site of a major battle in the Revolutionary War. Tom Spackman's family was one of several that put easements on their properties to keep them from being developed.
It means that my grandchildren and their children will be able to drive by here and walk by here and see all this just the way that I see it as I grew up on the farm there, and will enjoy that as much as I have and continue the legacy of open land and ecology.
Students at Mary D. Lang Elementary School in Kennett Square raised $205 to help buy the properties.
Most people won't realize how important this landmark was when the battle was fought. And they won't remember as much if houses were on it.
A network of public trails will be created next year. Melanie Armstrong, 1150 AM, WDEL.
A Sweet 16 for the Phils. WDEL Sports and your Delaware AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Looking to gain an edge in the technology or design field? Wilmington College's Division of Information Technology and Advanced Communications offers state-of-the-art facilities equipped with the latest tools. Achieve balance, achieve success.
In WDEL Sports, Carlos Ruiz had 4 hits and stole home in leading the Phils' offensive explosion in an 11-4 rout of Cincinnati last night. Ruiz became the first Phillies catcher in 25 years to steal home. It came on the back end of a double steal. Ryan Howard, Shane Victorino, and Chase Utley all homered as part of the Phillies' 16-hit attack. Kyle Kendrick picked up his second win of the season with no losses. The win moving the Phillies to within 2.5 games of the Mets, who lost to St. Louis last night. Tonight, Jamie Moyer takes the mound for the Phils against Aaron Harang. You can hear the game on WDEL starting at 6:30. Mark Maddox hit a 2-out triple in the 9th to give the Blue Rocks a 3-2 win over Winston-Salem. Maddox, opposite field 3-bagger, scored Wilver Perez for the game winner. Russ Haltwinger pitched a 1-2-3 bottom of the 9th for the save. The win sends the Blue Rocks to 5-1 in the second half. They host Lynchburg tonight at Frawley Stadium. Your WDEL Delaware AccuWeather forecast: hazy, hot, and humid. Maybe an afternoon or evening thunderstorm, high 94. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 72. Tomorrow, clouds and sun. Again, a couple of afternoon thunderstorms and a high of 88. I'm Chris Carl. Thanks for watching.